Welcome everyone to the Cat Hydraulic Shovels webinar. I'm Dana Anderson, your moderator for today's session. Thank you so much for joining this webinar. And more importantly, thank you for your commitment to learning more about how Cat products and services can support you and your operations. We have a lot of great content today, so let's get rolling. We'll start off with an introduction from Matt Jacobs, our Global Sales Manager for Hydraulic Mining Shovels. Then we will cover the topics listed here. We'll wrap up with a Q&A session. Our team will be monitoring the questions coming in, so please feel free to type in your questions throughout the program, and we will get to those at the end of the webinar. Now I'm going to pass it over to Matt Jacobs, who will introduce the team of experts on the call today. Matt?
Hello, everyone. My name is Matt Jacobs. I'm the sales manager for the hydraulic mining shovels. I just want to take a moment to introduce the team that will be presenting to you today. This is a team of global experts that help our regions and dealers around the world determine the best product for you in creating the lowest total cost of ownership. So presenting today will be Ben Evans, Nils Fettern, Dirk Tegmeyer, and Craig Turner. And they will be going through each of the different products as we go through this presentation. So let's go ahead and get started. We want to start with safety as a top priority. We design these machines with safety first, and we want to make sure everyone gets home safely every day. And some of the things that we designed into the machine are camera systems to make sure you have great visibility around the machine. We also design in 45-degree stair access to make sure you're safely getting on and off of the machine each and every day. And then also, as we design in safety, we not only think about the machine being safe, but also everyone around the machine. Safety from an operator's perspective, and safety from a maintenance perspective, and safety from a site perspective. So some of those things include visibility around the machine. As I said, access and egress. Also designing in safety through how we route the hoses, how we route the electric wires. And finally, designing in the elimination of live work so that you do not have to work on the machine in a power mode. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to the next slide. Talking to our design philosophy, I'm going to read it out loud. Our passionate global team of experts develop and build highly productive and reliable machines, services, and solutions that deliver the lowest total cost of ownership and cost per ton. So now we'd like to get started with a video that shows our products, services, and partnerships around the world. So today I want to talk about the product line, the entire product line, the HMS shovels. So go ahead and next slide, Dana. Today we're going to be talking about both the versatility class and the productivity and ultra class. So the versatility class covers multiple applications, quarry and ag, heavy construction, and some of the smaller mining as a primary loading tool, hence a versatility class. So we'll be talking about both the 6015B and the 6020B. The productivity and ultra class machines are the prime loader in the mining application. So we will be focusing on the features and benefits and value of these machines also. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Ben Evans, and he will begin to talk about the versatility class. Thank you.
Well, good morning to everybody from where I am. We're going to start with our two smaller models, 6015B and 6020B. We call these the versatility class because they work in all types of mines and quarries, and we'll also meet some customers who use the 6015B for heavy construction. I'm going to use a mixture of metric and US imperial units, so if you miss anything, feel free to submit a question for the Q&A at the end. Let's get started, Dana. The 6015B backhoe was developed to fill a customer need for high productivity from a small and versatile package. Most of the excavators in the 100-ton class here have less than 9 cubic yard buckets. So if you have a 70-ton truck, like a Cat 775, they take 6 passes to fill it. The 6015B, though, is the biggest machine in this size class, and the standard bucket is 10.6 cubic yards, so it has a 1-pass advantage. That means it takes 1 pass less to fill a truck. This also makes the 6015B suitable for loading 100-ton trucks, like the Cat 777, so productivity is a big advantage, up to 15% more. A lot of 6015B operators come from a construction equipment background, and they'll appreciate the eye level in the cab is about a foot higher than in a Cat 395. Something else they'll notice is the engine doesn't lug and overspeed during digging. In fact, the engine runs so much more cleanly than the old machine that it produces 8% more horsepower and meets EPA Tier 4 final without SCR or DPFs. So if you're outside the US and EU, the C27 engine has even lower fuel consumption. Putting that engine with the new hydraulic system with 15% more capacity makes the total machine up to 20% more fuel efficient. Let's take a look at a site where 4 machines use that efficiency today. In western Pennsylvania, here in the US, they needed to bypass the city traffic of Pittsburgh between the airport and Interstate 79. So they planned a 13-mile or 21-kilometer 4-lane highway. The project cost $800 million and required more than 28 million cubic yards of excavation. Now, just to put that into context, that's enough dirt to fill the AT&T Arena in Arlington, Texas, which is the biggest NFL stadium, and then fill it again 6 more times and still have dirt left over. 3 of the winning firms chose the Cat 6015B, with 4 machines working on the project overall. Each did their homework before buying the machines, and in their economic analysis, they really liked the production and the fuel efficiency advantage of the 6015B. They each moved around 6.5 million cubic yards on average, and often worked with 100-ton trucks like you see in the picture, with double shift operations. If your project needs to move even more material than this, then we have a solution on the next slide. The 6020B backhoe, here with a 15.7 cubic yard bucket, was a clean sheet design from the cab at the front to a sound suppression at the rear. The average customer is more likely to be working 24/7, so focus was put on making the machine safe with great visibility, because a 200-ton shovel can get matched to a wide range of trucks. In the cab, the operator takes the main seat in a patented layout, and I'll show you more about that later. The 6020B uses a single Cat C32 engine in a power module that's laid out across the machine, so a technician can enter and walk through it for service, or it can be removed and replaced as a single unit. The hydraulic system is another patent-protected design, and this uses a principle which is so simple, we named it hydraulic optimization. And what makes the 6020B different is how the control system independently tells each of 3 pairs of pumps how much oil flow and pressure to supply and when it's needed, instead of all the pumps running at full speed all the time. When high power is needed for digging, then multiple pairs of pumps can be combined to the boom and stick cylinders. Then, when the machine dumps this material and swings back to the bench quite low, so only one pair of pumps would be needed to open the bucket and another pair for swing instead of all the pumps working. And this system improves productivity by up to 10%, but dramatically reduces fuel consumption. This reduces the operating cost and gives a 6020B a fuel efficiency advantage of 25%. There are other advantages of the system too, giving more operator control for low load functions like digging ramps and trenching. And this makes the 6020B versatile for its size. If you want to know more about the CAT 6020B hydraulic optimization technology, we've released an animated video on YouTube with some extra details. Let's step into the 6020B cab for a minute. As you can see from the outside view, this was developed to be class-leading for visibility through the front and side windows. The operator also has a floor window for when they're repositioning on a bench and looking down to avoid obstacles around the tracks. With the 3-seat layout, the operator can work with a trainer who can see clearly over their left shoulder, or they can demonstrate something about the mine site plan or a blast to a production supervisor in a fold-out seat on their right-hand side. The cab is isolation mounted to reduce vibration, and it's also very well insulated from heat, cold and noise, so it's quiet and comfortable. The HVAC system maintains a comfortable temperature and keeps the air at positive pressure to prevent dust ingress. After that, we're going to step up to the next size machine, and I want to introduce my colleague Niels Vedden to talk about the 6030. Niels.
Yeah, thank you, Ben, for introducing the versatility class. Now we go to the next level of performance, the productivity class. With a bigger mine, you need bigger trucks and a bigger fleet and also a bigger loading tool. Today we will talk about the 6030 and 6040. The 6030 is equipped with a proven and reliability C27 engine. The 6030 hydraulic mining shovel provides the most powerful engine output in its size class. It comes with a bucket capacity of 17 cubic meter for backhoe attachment, and for the face shovel configuration, we have 16.5 cubic meter. The face shovel configuration comes also with a proven cat dry power system. With this configuration, we can load a 777 truck with 3 to 4 passes and a 785 truck with 5 passes. This combination gives a 6030 an average productivity around 2,300 tons per hour. The 6030 was introduced in 1999, and we still have units in the field with more than 70 operating hours. But we are always looking for ways to make the 6030 better. This is the only shovel in this size class with twin engine, and now it's also available with Tier 4 final engines. This includes a maintenance-free non-def solution. Since the introduction, we have done a lot of improvements. In 2014, the 6030 got a major safety update. As Matt mentioned before, we added the 45-degree access ladders. We revised the house routing, segregation of hoses, and separation from electric wiring. We also added covers and heat protection for exhaust pipes and turbochargers inside the engine module to make it more safe, so nobody can touch a hot surface. Now also every walkway is slip resistant. When we talk about technology, 6030 is equipped with a really large 12-inch touchscreen, live sensor monitoring, visual and acoustic fault warnings, and it's MineStar ready from the factory with Product Link Elite. Talking about the undercarriage, we also updated the undercarriage with heavy-duty components. We added fixed axle roller, fixed axle idler, and heavy-duty track pads. The next member of our productivity class is a 6040, and it comes with reliable C32 engines. Available as a face shovel configuration with cat dry power technology or a backhoe configuration. Both versions offer a bucket capacity of 22 cubic meter and provides 4 clean passes on the 785 and 5 passes on the 789 truck. This combination gives an average productivity of 3,000 tons per hour. Introduced in 1995, the highest reporting operating hours for the 6040 are around 102,000 hours. It's an incredible number. Since then, many updates have been done to improve the overall performance. In 2007, we increased the digging forces, we introduced a new backhoe attachment, we updated in 2011 the new board control system, In 2012, we got also the big safety update. We introduced 45-degree access ladder, complete revised hose routing, segregation of hoses and separating of electric wiring, improved serviceability, power isolation switch on the top deck, also covers and heat protection for exhaust pipes. When we talk about technology, the 6040 is equipped with the same large 12-inch touchscreen, live sensor monitoring, visual and acoustic fault warnings, and it's also MindStar ready from the factory with Product Link Elite. For both models, 6030 and 6040, we offer retrofit kits to make the machines, the legacy units, MindStar ready. Also, the 6040 undercarriage has got some heavy-duty components. Now we have fixed axle rollers and heavy-duty trackpads. Let's talk now about some common features for both models to reduce fuel consumption. As many of you know, both models have the closed-loop swing system. The closed-loop swing system delivers faster cycle times and improved energy efficiency while it's generating less heat. Kinetic energy captured during the swing motion is fed back into the system during deceleration, providing more power to the main pumps and auxiliary pumps. The independent cool system is a more efficient way to cool your hydraulic oil that protects and extends the life of your hydraulic components. The system is independent of return oil, and dedicated pumps provide cooling capacity as needed during idling or under load. Another great feature to save fuel, it's a float valves from the boom. To lower the boom, no pumps are needed. Just gravity alone will lower the boom. The main pumps can now support stick and bucket function to realize faster boom movement and cycle times. When I talked about the 6030, that the 6030 is the only model in this size class with twin engine. So let's talk a little bit about twin engine. 6030 and 6040 has the twin engine concept. That means if one engine is down, you can operate the complete shovel with all functions. And one engine remaining covers 65% of your productivity. And you have full capacity of your digging forces. So 100% digging forces, 65% productivity. That means if you have to load a truck before blasting, you can load the last truck and leave the loading area to get the free time for blasting. If you have to load 10 trucks, you also can load 10 trucks. Every function is available, tramming, loading, and swinging. No issues at all. And also the closed loop swing system is still available with one engine running. That was it from my side. Now I will pass over to Dirk Tegmeier. He will talk about the 6060 and the new operator's cap.
Yeah, thanks, Niels. Good morning, good day, good evening, wherever you are. My name is Dirk Tegmeier and the new 6060, and also about our new state-of-the-art operator cap. So with the 6060, we really came a long way with this model. Initially launched back in 2004, the 6060 diesel unit has seen a variety of updates over its life cycle. Apart from more powerful cat engines and hydraulics, together with a longer superstructure in the early years, significant improvements were made already in 2012, when Caterpillar set the benchmark with a strong focus on safety of operators and service personnel. In close cooperation with key customers, comprehensive safety features were identified and developed. To name only a few: 45-degree access ladders and stairways, prevention of trip hazards and anti-slip walkways, clear separation of hydraulic hoses and electrical wiring, but also a battery and starter isolator switch became standard scope of supply ex-factory for all customers all around the world. These actions significantly reduced local labor and cost-intensive rework, which helped, for example, in Australia, which represents some 40% of the entire 6060 population. One additional topic I would like to address is how the 6060 continuously gained weight and how it was purely translated into durability. Because since its introduction, the next generation 6060 increased its mass by roughly 66 tons or 60 metric tons, making it a true 600-ton size class machine today. So let's have a closer look at all the features. So first of all, very importantly, the next generation 6060 is a fully integrated Caterpillar machine. So this means that all the service literature and all machine documentation is in the same format as any other CAT equipment. Integration-wise, from a technical standpoint, the 6060 has 100% CAT hydraulic hoses, plus the electrical system has been also converted to CAT electronics. In addition to a variety of CPI points, and CPI points, or CPI stands for continuous product improvements, these attributes considerably improve reliability. The entire hose routing was virtually validated, and in the iron hose audit was performed thereafter. Unit underwent a comprehensive testing program at the Caterpillar Proving Grounds, and 2 machines were closely followed in a day-to-day operation at 2 customer sites. So I've already mentioned the heavy structural updates earlier. A new and enlarged slew ring falls also into the same category. And another durability improvement are the 3512E engines, which are available for lesser regulated countries, but also for higher regulated countries. The first life until overhaul was stretched from 750,000 gallons to 825,000 gallons, which is additional 10%, compared to the previously installed 3512C version. The Tier 4 version also does not require diesel exhaust fluid, very important point in particular for cold climate applications. So talking fuel, this is typically the highest contributor to the total operating cost of hydraulic mining shovel. And you have already heard from my colleague Ben about the outstanding fuel economy of the 6020B. Similar hydraulic optimization was also designed into the next generation 6060, and fuel savings in the range of 3 to 5% for the backhoe and 10 to 15% for the face shovel configurations are expected. Along with the direct saving of fuel, of course, the reduction of greenhouse gases is also supported, and this also further relates into the already extended engine life. So let's talk about the cap a little bit. So the same cap is obviously installed on the 6020B as well. It's our next generation's cap. So it's a really state-of-the-art operator cap, and it was designed by operators for operators to provide a safe, comfortable, and productivity-enhancing environment. A larger front window, an integrated floor window, and an unobstructed view with additional and optional camera systems provide class-leading visibility. Lowering cost per ton was a really design priority for the new 6060, and increasing visibility is just one of the many features implemented within the cap design that improves operator efficiency. Overall, our goal was to provide a better operator environment that leads to greater productivity. So with that, I'll turn it over, and we are going to see a little video clip about the new cap. Thank you.
All right, that was another great video. And Dirk, thank you for that presentation. I just want to say, back when I joined in 2019, I was able to sit in this cab, and I have to say it is truly amazing. Okay, so with that, we are going to switch over to value enhancements. And we are going to talk today about undercarriage, ground engaging tools, and CVAs. I am going to pass it back to Nils, who will talk about our heavy duty undercarriage, and then Craig will talk about ground engaging tools. Nils?
Dirk talked earlier about the 60 early. Now I would like to talk more about the undercarriage. You can extend the life of your undercarriage up to 30% thanks to the proven design of the heavy-duty undercarriage. With the new heavy-duty undercarriage, you can increase your uptime and also lower your operating costs. The heavy-duty undercarriage gives you extra reliability and increased life over long-distance tramming. Let's cover now some features about what we have added. What makes it more reliable? First, we added heavy-duty idler, heavy-duty roller. Both heavy-duty idler and heavy-duty roller comes now with a new duocone sealing. What does it mean? Both components are now lifetime sealed, no greasing lines at all. And think about the 6060 Legacy has 7 load rollers on the left side, 7 load rollers on the right side. So the Legacy needed 14 greasing lines to bring grease to every roller. This is now completely eliminated. And think about the maintenance time. How long do you need to maintain all these greasing lines? If one line is broken, if you tram on a bench with a backhoe. So this can happen. And now this is complete eliminated. Next to idler and roller, we also improved the track pads and the track tensioning system. The track tensioning system has now updated cylinders, updated hoses, and updating pushing tube. When we talk about collaboration between undercarriage specialist and hydraulic mining shovel engineering, what does it mean? This team created a workshop together to improve the undercarriage. And now, you know, the undercarriage with a legacy machine used to have a lot of issues with long distance tramming and overheating. With the new heavy duty rollers, this issue is solved completely. I will give you an example. At TPG, this is our testing facility in Arizona. In Arizona, we have 2 facilities, one for testing and one for demonstration. So a customer asked me, hey, can we come with a team? I want to bring an operator. We want to test the new 6060 NPI. We said, no problem at all. And he tried to make an appointment really early. And we said, hey, we have to tram the machine from the proving grounds to the demo area. And then he asked me, oh, what's the distance? I said, yeah, around 4 miles. And he was really interested in more details and said, hey, can you do me a favor? Please measure the temperature when you start and at the end, because we have a lot of units in the field in the past with a lot of issues with tramming. So we did this. We trammed the machine, arrived at the demo area, and then we measured the temperature, and we saw it was only 2-degree difference. And it was a nice and hot sunny day in Arizona, 97 degrees. It was really hot, and the customer was really surprised. So what we have done, we measure the temperature every 15 minutes just to make sure nothing will happen. And when I talked to the team at Tinaya in our proving area, they mentioned with the old legacy machine, they have to stop in the summertime when it's around 90 or 100 degrees every 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and then they have to cool the machine down. It was a delay for the operator because when it was the end of the day, the operator wants to go home, and then they gave him the order, hey, we have to tram the machine to our demo area. And now with the new 6060 NPI, for him, it's a different world. He don't have to stop. He can make his schedules, okay, I can tram from this place to this place in a scheduled time. Okay, next slide, please. 1 year later, we assembled the second field follower 6060 NPI in the field. After we finished assembling, we have to tram the machine to the mine site. So what was unique in this situation, the assembling area was outside the pit. So it was a distance around 12 miles. That means 19.3 kilometers. So after tramming, We measured a temperature increase above ambience just about 0.5 degrees. So the complete service team tracked the move from the assembly area to the mine site. They measured every 15 minutes what we recommend, but they never have to stop. So on the next day, we did the big inspection. We made a walk around the complete undercarriage. We double checked idler, sprocket, heavy duty, track pads, roller, and we couldn't see anywhere. So everything was like on the day before we start scramming. And this was really a great success, and the customer was excited. And now I'm going over to passing over to Craig. He will talk about ground engaging tools.
Thank you. Good day, everyone. I'd like to turn our attention to the digging into the machine for a change. The bucket, wear package, and GET systems, they all play a critical role in achieving your specific reliability and performance targets. And equally important is the management of those digging tools based on your ever-changing mine site environment. Caterpillar and the Cat dealer are prepared to deliver products and service solutions that you require for all of your hydraulic mining shovel needs. If we start first with the versatility class mining shovel systems, they combine decades of engineering experience in design and metallurgy with current day requirements for hammerless GET retention, which makes maintenance practices efficient. Now, Cat knows that bucket designs can vary greatly, so they do have dedicated resources that can assist you with GET layout designs that can meet your unique considerations and applications. In the productivity class of shovels, the Seal 1 designs, or cast lip systems, they deliver industry-leading productivity, rates of penetration, and bucket fill. Even hard rock and high abrasion applications see the performance benefits when equipped with our extended wear life components that work to balance out your system wear rates, helping your bucket life cycle. GET, or ground engaging tools, they have a direct effect on your machine's ability to produce, and your Cat dealer will help you manage them using technologies like Cat Bucket Pro. The Bucket Pro inspection application can deliver 3 different levels of information. First, fast visual reports can drive immediate action on observation. Health inspection quantifies the current condition of components and their future replacement dates, while 3D scanning, it comprehensively reflects wear patterns. These management services guide GET optimization for operational improvements or performance studies. You may not have Cat on your bucket or your machine, but this is not necessarily a problem. You can still have Cat ground engaging tools as an ingredient on your bucket. The Fleet Bucket program gives you access to Cat GET solutions and services, no matter who manufactured your machine or your bucket. For more information, ask your Cat dealer how Cat GET and services can make a difference on your job site. Thank you, Dana.
Thank you, Craig. And now let's talk a little bit about another way your Cat dealer can help support your equipment needs through an undercarriage CVA. Customer value agreements, or CVAs, are available if you are interested. Undercarriage CVAs provide a hassle-free management solution that helps you get up to 20% more undercarriage life with pay-as-you-go pricing and flexible dealer support. Each CVA comes with options to customize a plan for your operation in order to streamline cash flow, improve machine availability, and control your undercarriage costs per hour. For more information, you can contact your local Cat dealer or visit the website here on your screen, www.cat.com/undercarriage CVA. Okay, so now I'm going to pass it back to Matt before we transition into the Q&A portion of our webinar. Matt.
Yeah, thanks, Dina. And I'd like to start off by saying a big thank you to everyone who took the time out of their busy day to join us to talk through the hydraulic mining shovel presentation. And focusing back on what did we talk to, we're very excited about this range of hydraulic mining shovels, talked about the safety that we build in, talked about our design philosophy and how we use attention to details and how we route hydraulic lines and electric lines. We talked about the durability, heavy duty undercarriage built in, and we also talked about all the comfort in the new cab on these machine class. And finally, we're excited to bring this to you together with our dealers and partnering with our dealers to provide the parts, services, and solutions to provide you the lowest total cost of ownership. And with that, I'll go ahead and hand it back to Dana as we move into our question and answer session.
Perfect. Thank you for that, Matt. So just a reminder, this is the team of experts that we have on the call today. If you haven't already done so, please submit your questions and we will get to those here shortly. And if we do run short on time today, our team of experts, along with your local CAT dealer, will follow up with you after our webinar. Okay, so let me see what we've got here. Why don't we start out with Ben? Ben, got a question for you. How does the 6015B or 6020B meet Tier 4 or EU Stage 5 without DEF or DPF after treatment?
That's a good question. The hydraulic controls on both machines are very new, and that's part of it. And the C27 and the C32 engines in the two machines, partly they use very high pressure fuel injection technology and diesel oxidation catalysts to meet Tier 4 regulations. And those machines are above 560 BKW or 750 horsepower. Both of those Caterpillar engines have been in production at Tier 4 since 2009. And then combination of the fuel injection and the air management of the older CERT technology, which has been around now since 2009, is how we remove the need for DPFs or DEF to meet emissions.
All right. Thank you for that, Ben. Looks like maybe we have another one here for Dirk. Where was weight added within the recent 6060 updates?
Okay, yeah, I can take this one. So we had additional 5 tons on the car body section and also on the superstructure mainframe. The face shovel stick gained another 1.5 metric tons. The entire slew ring is heavier by 3.7 tons, and the entire backhoe attachment is redesigned and gained additional 9 tons. However, these additional 9 tons do not at all affect any performance.
Okay. Thank you for that. Looks like another one coming in for Nils. Nils, what type of maintenance is required for the DOC system?
Oh, that's also a good question. I get this question all the time because people say, oh, it's a new system. Do I have to add maintenance costs? Do I have to replace something during operation? No. The DOC system is a flow-through device, and this is attached between your muffler and your engine, and there's no maintenance and service needed. We recommend to replace this with the engines, but however, it has an expected lifetime of 25% longer than the engines. So no maintenance at all, just change it with the engine exchange. But the rest is maintenance free.
Fantastic. Thank you for that. Look what else we got coming in. Okay, this one looks like might be a Ben question. Is the 6015B the same as the Terex or O&K RH40 from Bucyrus?
Yeah, another interesting one. So the RH40 did develop into a 6015 in the early days of the Caterpillar acquisition. But the 6015B we talked about today, this actually originated from the older 5110B, but that was brought up to date to meet current regulations, Tier 4 and EU Stage 5. Lots of changes to the engine and the control systems to meet the emissions, and then changes to the hydraulics to make the whole system work together and be more efficient.
All right. Another question coming in. I think this one's for Nils. When do you recommend backhoe, and when do you recommend front shovel or face shovel?
Yeah, that's also a lot of customer, when they start a greenfield project, they come back to us and say, okay, we have, for example, overburden remove or coal. So we see in Australia, most of the mine sites, when they remove overburden or it's easy digging application like blasted coal, we recommend backhoe because you have smaller swing angle from the backhoe to the truck. But if it comes to tough digging, like in iron ore, in gold application, we recommend face shovel units because we have additional digging forces with Cat tri-power system, and it's easier to penetrate the material. So in general, for easy loading and lower benches, backhoe application, and also for higher benches and tough digging, face shovel. Good question.
Okay. Let's see what else we have here. And this might be for you as well. Do you lose digging capacity with the heavy main valve block mounted on the boom?
So when we have customers in our demonstration area, after we did the demonstration, we offer a walk around. And then customers said, hey, what was the reason why you mounted the big valve block on your boom? Why is it not at the A-frame? We said, hey, maintenance-wise, if you can imagine this big piece of metal in the A-frame will cause a lot of issues if you have to change pumps and hoses. This was the reason, so that's the way how we explained what we have done it. So that's the reason why we brought the big main valve block at the boom. But we will lose around 1% of forces because the main valve block is so close to the pivot point, it doesn't impact your digging forces. You don't see this. Theoretically, you can calculate this. There's maybe 1% less. But overall benefits to have the big valve block on the boom. Maintenance people, they can adjust valves at the main valve block. They have easy access. Even the operator, he can see if something is happening with the valve block. So we have a lot of benefits and losing just 1% of forces. But that's minimum.
Great.
Is it answered with this? I hope. Yeah.
Sounds
see
good
any
to me.
effects and impacts about digging and forces. So, but you have way more benefits regarding service and maintenance and easy access.
Okay, we've got another one. And I can't remember, Dirk, did I already ask you the parts commonality with the previous 6060 and RH340 versus the new?
No, you didn't, Dana. So,
Okay.
yeah, absolutely. Of course, it's a new machine, but the good news is there was a lot of parts commonality between RH340B, the legacy model, up to the latest 6060. There is only very few exceptions, and this is obviously the new engines, 3512E versus the older 3512C. And the other one is the slew ring as a major component, which is also a new part. And then on top of it, some electrical items are different because we moved to CAT electronics. And the pump gearbox, the PTO, has an additional outlet to drive the air conditioning system. So that's also a new item. All the rest, like pumps, motors, cylinders, that's all the same. So a lot of stock components that are used or available on existing 6060 sites can also be used for the new model.
Great, thank you for that.
Thank you.
Have another one here. Looks like Nils, is the hydraulic oil cooling independent from engine cooling, or do you have to sandwich cooling like Hitachi has?
Oh, that's a good question. So there are two ways to cool your hydraulic system and also the engine cooling. So we have a separate way. We have dedicated pumps to cool hydraulic oil and your engine. There's another way. You can add a radiator to the shaft of your engine and cool the hydraulics. So what is happening in this case? The cooling starts even if you start the engine. So when the engine is not warm at all, you have cooling. And with Caterpillar, we have cooling on demand. That means the radiators are just cooling when it's needed. So independent oil cooling from return oil also means if you remove your attachment, boom and stick and bucket, only at this time oil is coming back to the cooler. With independent oil cooling, you always have cooling available just with dedicated pumps. And both systems are independent of each other. It's not a combination.
Great, thank you for that. So it looks like, Ben, how does the 6015B compare to the new 395?
Well, that's the sort of question that really could use a lot more time. Obviously, the CAT 395, there's material released about that at the end of last year. It's a 95 metric ton or 208,000 pound machine, and it's the bigger brother almost to the CAT 390. I'm not sure how Hex would like that description, but it's a very new machine with a lot of history in the market. So it is bigger than the 390, and they talk about 10% more payload being available with the 395 because of a little bit more power and a bigger machine. Now, that has the Caterpillar C18 engine, and the 6015B has the CAT C27. So there's a significant jump from 95 ton up to 140 metric ton for the 6015B. And the answer really depends on the application. So there is a lot more production available from the 6015B compared to the 395. It's got a bigger bucket. Because it's a bigger machine, it can take a little bit more to disassemble and reassemble the machine if it needs to be moved frequently. So there will be some material coming out later this year to talk about some of those differences. They're both fully Caterpillar integrated machines. They both have a wide range. They're similar in that they both have a wide range of bucket types for all sorts of different applications. And I think that's a question that's a situation where you really need to submit a detailed question about the application that's intended and get a specific answer about the intended situation, the production needed, the hours it's going to be worked, what's the material it will work in, and then the right size machine can be selected.
Yeah, Dana, I'll add there that this is a perfect opportunity to get with your dealer, and they can pull in one of these experts together with the region team to determine what is the best machine for your application. And that could involve a site visit or just a better understanding of the application to determine what machine will give you the lowest operating cost. Thanks, Dana.
Perfect. Okay, it looks like maybe Dirk, does the 6030, 6060 use CAT ET to communicate to all the machines EMs?
Yeah, a CAT ET, electronic technician, that's a tool to read out information out of the electrical system. On the 6030, it works for the engines. The 6030 doesn't have CAT electronics yet. However, the engine ECMs can communicate with ET. It's different with 6060. 6060 now being a fully integrated CAT machine featuring CAT electronics. So the entire ECM can communicate, or all ECMs that are spread all over the machine can communicate with CAT ET. Yeah, that's possible.
Great. see if we have another one here. It looks like Nils. Do you have a different type of grease for the swing system and the attachment?
No, we're using one type of grease, and this type of grease is in one grease container, and we have one pump for the slew ring and for the attachment, so no different type of grease and no additional containers needed. It's just one container, one pump, and one type of grease. So really easy for the maintenance people. Nobody can mix up the type of grease, and it's easier to handle.
Great. Looking here to see what else we got coming in. Looks like Ben, maybe. What is the maximum bucket size preferred for iron ore applications in the CAT 395 excavator?
Right, I don't cover 395 specifically, and that would be a great situation where you should work with your dealer to get those sort of specific questions. So it depends on what the material density of the loose density of that material will be. Hex and hydraulic mining shovels do have slightly different payload policy. If you look in the release 395 material, I'm just having a quick scroll through. So if you're looking with a material of a heavy ore material, something like 2.5 metric tons, need to think about what's the fragment size and the level of breakup of the material. Probably going to be in that 5 cubic meter or potentially smaller for the 395. But yeah, it's a great example of work with your dealer about that specific situation, and they can get the very best solution answered for you.
Great. It looks like a follow-up question to the 6060. What type of grease is recommended?
Yeah, it's the standard Caterpillar grease that we use for all our mining shovels. We have special grease for normal applications, obviously, and then there is other ones for cold climate applications. I don't have the correct specification now on mind, but we can follow up certainly individually.
It looks like there's a question on the 6020 cab. Which model is next for the upgrade found on the 6060 and other tri-power models?
I think I can say a few words to this one, Dana. So obviously 6020 and 6060 got the new cap. Going forward at some point of time, the idea is to have also this new cap on other models, but for the time being, we can't give you a fixed timeline.
Looks like we're getting close to our end of time, so let me see if there is any other questions we can get to before we wrap up today. Here's a question about the heavy-duty undercarriage on the 6060. Can that be fitted to the rest of the tri-power size machines?
We have components available. So for 6050, we have heavy-duty roller available. Dirk, help me out. What about the idler? I know for sure we have the heavy-duty roller for the 6050 models. But the rest, 6030, 6040, and 6060 has already heavy-duty components.
Yeah, that's correct. And there is retrofit kits available for to replace the old rollers with the new HD rollers.
Well, it looks like we're getting close to the end of our time here. So appreciate everybody for the questions coming in. And like I said before, keep them coming. You know, we will reach out to you, our team of experts, or your local CAT dealer to answer your questions. And one thing I'd like to leave everybody with is, you know, we're always looking for ways to communicate with our dealers and our customers. And so we ask that you stay connected with us. Any information that we talked about today can be found on cad.com/mining. And we also ask that you subscribe to our newsletters. We have several that have great information that you can connect with. We've got our Cat Mining newsletter, and then we also have Viewpoint, which is a little bit more of the industry publication that we feature customer stories on all of the time and dealer stories. And then as well, we always ask that you connect with us on social. We've got Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and we would love to have you reach out to us and your dealer through social media. So with that, I think we're going to wrap it up and appreciate everybody's time today. Again, thanks for joining. Stay safe and stay productive.